clean out the valleys, and, you know, I just periodically, of course, I'm in the roofing business, but I get up on my roof. I am about as comfortable getting up on my roof as I am walking on the ground. Very walkable, no worries. As far as like the staining, again, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. Staining is a very inexplicable phenomenon that occurs on roofs. And as you look around, you'll see roofs, some of them have like black staining. I mean, obviously if you have a lot of trees around your house, you're going to get more of a green or a mold type staining. You know, we warranty, which the tile companies don't, we warranty the shingles for 10 years for any black algae staining. The shingles that we make for Florida, and most manufacturers do the same, they have copper in the granules, and that copper kills off the black algae. Have you ever looked at a roof and you see where the little stack, you know, the little lead boot coming out is, and then it's clean like this? That's because of the metals in the lead boot actually kill that algae, and that's why you see that one clean area. We put those products into our granules, and we give you a 10-year warranty. As far as whether you should clean it, again, I've seen houses that have been roofed in very close proximity of time, right next to each other, and one's got a lot of black algae and one doesn't. It has to do with a whole bunch of things: pollution and temperature and ventilation, you know, just a lot of different things. So my recommendation is this, and GAF's recommendation would be the same. If you see that you're starting to get some black staining on there and you're outside the 10-year period, because if you're within the 10-year period, you know, GAF will more than likely pay to have that roof cleaned for you. But if you're outside that 10-year period, I just do it on my house, again, because I'm in the industry and I know. It's a very simple solution. First of all, never, never, never let anybody pressure wash a shingle roof, because the pressure will knock the granules off, and the granules is what protects the asphalt from drying and decaying. So never have anybody pressure wash your roof. What we do, and I do it at home, is I get a pump sprayer and I mix a solution of 4 parts water with 1 part bleach. And there's a cleaning enzyme that you can get at Home Depot called trisodium phosphate, gallon jug, I don't know, $5. I put a cup of that in there, I mix it up, I get on the roof, and I just wet it with a hose just to get it wet. Then I spray that solution on there, I let it sit for 30 minutes, and then I just hose it off. And it'll keep those shingles looking new for years and years and years. So much more friendlier, a better warranty, more friendlier to clean, more friendlier to walk on.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Generally, you hear that tile roofs are cooler for the home than shingle roofs. Is that so true with the technology?
I think that the primary piece of information that's most important to the roof is the ventilation of the roof. You know, you can have tile on there. You know, tile's not like a magical keep your roof cool product. They still require those vents to move the air out. And underneath the tile, you're going to have, you know, there's a variety of different systems, but typically it's kind of a black asphaltic system that goes underneath the tile. You know, some people will again tell you, and some will argue, that the fact that you have space between your underlayment and your tile, that's going to keep that deck cooler. And I would have to say that probably helps a little bit. But having the proper ventilation on a shingle roof, you're not going to, you know, it's going to be even. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
What about the warranty in general? What's the warranty on the shingle roof? I know the tile roofs don't have much of a warranty.
Right. And I'm going to go into that next
Okay.
in some detail.
Okay.
Was that your question as well?
No, but I'll wait and see if you've got them on.
Okay. Well, you can
I just was wondering about expense
expense
of shingle versus the tile.
tile is significantly more expensive.
We
than
got
shingle.
some quotes, we
Yeah.
can
That's what I
we
said,
can
probably
mention those,
better.
we got some
Yeah.
quotes.
Yeah, and again, it's gonna depend on the shingle, you know, if you got the most expensive shingle we make, it would probably still be a little bit cheaper than tile. The problem with the tile is that it's the labor that really drives the expense up. It's a very laborious product to put on. And if you're gonna put a tile roofing system on with the proper underlayment, like what we used to do, we used to install what they call a 30-90 hot mop. So we used to nail down a 30-pound felt, and then we used to mop with hot asphalt another roll on top of that of a product that was called 90-pound. And those systems, you know, were probably about the best system available at the time. Labor is what really drives the cost of the tile. And unfortunately for you, you know, I want you to just be aware of that, is that, you know, tearing off tile is also expensive, because it's not like a shingle roof. You know, the guys get out there with some shovels and they, you know, shovel it and they kind of tear it off in sheets and they throw it in a dump truck. I mean, tile is very heavy, and depending on what kind of tile system, whether it's nailed down or screwed down or foamed in, you know, you literally have to pretty much take up, you know, one tile at a time. If it's screwed in, you're gonna have to take all those screws out of the deck. And then the weight to haul that off is, you know, again, most guys can haul off a roof in one dump truck. With a tile tear off, they're probably gonna have to do quite a few of those, and they have to pay more money at the dump site and so on and so forth. So, again, I'm not trying to scare you, but, you know, my objective here is to give you the education so you don't, you know, hopefully don't have a lot of surprises as you go through the process.
Since the cost thing was brought up, Rick, let me just mention, we got some quotes from Ari's Roofing, which I know is a
Yes,
preferred installer for
Master
GAF
Elite.
and everything.
yes,
And, you know, the quotes they gave one they quoted on the Timberline shingle,
okay,
high definition and ultra high definition.
okay.
What's the difference between the two, first of all?
The difference between let me start off by saying this. All of our shingles, with the exception of a 3-tab, okay, all of them have the exact same warranty. So when you're looking at a dimensional shingle, or are you familiar with that term? Dimensional, architectural? We have so many different terms, just no wonder we confuse people. But any dimensional shingle has the same warranty. So with that being said, the type of shingle you select really becomes more of an aesthetic decision than a warranty or performance decision, okay? When you look at the difference between a Timberline high definition and a Timberline ultra high definition, that is from if I were to put it here on a table, you would probably not recognize the difference. But one of them is actually 60%, the ultra is 60% thicker than the Timberline high definition. What does that do for you? When you put it up on your roof, that additional thickness just gives it a bolder, more vertical look. It does make a significant difference, a more defined look. But again, it's aesthetic, okay?
Okay, so there was a fairly significant difference in the prices they gave. Like, we have two models of homes here. One is about 1,730 square feet, and the other is about 2,050 square feet. They vary because people have added on or whatever, but and the prices were not that different, surprisingly, from the quotes. But they, in ballpark figures, they quoted for a tile roof about $22,000 to $24,000. 22 for the smaller home, 24 for the larger home. And for the shingle roof, for the ultra high definition, they quoted 14,000 or 14 to 15,000. So it was significantly less. It was from 14 to 15 as opposed to 22 to 24.
Right.
And when I got those quotes from Aries, because I asked them for this purpose, for the potential for us to change our guidelines. What I asked them for was a quote for shingles that would most closely replicate the fill tile that we have now. Because obviously, if we do make a change, it's gonna be an either or.
Right.
And we're going to go through a period where we're gonna have both in the neighborhood if we make the change. Some people are never gonna wanna change to shingle. Some people, given the opportunity, because of the cost and the warranty factors, are gonna wanna go with the shingle if that's an option that they have. So this would give the look most closely to match. And they sent me some overhead pictures, and you can go on Google Earth and look yourself at some of these homes that have this high definition shingle versus a cement tile. So the idea would be to keep as close of a common look throughout the neighborhood as possible without limiting us to a single option for roof replacement. And I'm not sure how much more you have to cover, but I do want to, this is the West Chase Homeowners Association roofing guideline.
Okay.
And I would just want to bring out a few of these factors and make sure that everything you're talking about meets
Okay,
the specifications that's required
Okay.
from the West Chase guidelines themselves.
all right.
So I'm just going to kind of read through this real quick. But they must be composition, dimensional, fungus-resistant, fiberglass shingles, clay or cement tile, stone-coated metal, or slate, based on architectural modifications. Wood, copper, and sheet metal such as Key West style roofs are not allowed at all industrial. So the shingles meet all of those. They must be Florida product approved,
Yes.
Energy Star rating, impact resistant, stain resistant, and a manufacturer's warranty of at least 30 years or more.
Okay.
But-
It's not, Energy Star.
Yes.
If you want an Energy Star shingle, then you would have to look at our product line that is called Timberline Cool Series,
Okay.
which is Energy Star rated, or any white shingle,
Okay.
No,
which
no way. No
I
way.
don't,
No
thank you.
And it does get into colors. And of
Right.
course, we were,
No way.
not we, the discussion among those of us who've talked about modifying the guidelines, we want to keep a color as close as possible to the light gray that we currently have. So again, that we maintain kind of a homogeneous look throughout. And the colors, it states that the colors must be solid colored or mildly variegated. They must be black or soft, muted earth tones, or neutrals. So I'm saying that this that you're displaying here would meet
Right, the only
mildly
thing that
variegated
wouldn't meet, the only thing that shingle wouldn't meet, would be the Energy Star.
rating. And it doesn't specify an Energy Star rating. I would think that there's variations, I mean, a
Yes,
1
I
to
mean,
5.
They are.
Right.
And I get that question asked a lot as well, like, what's the difference between a white shingle and a black shingle? Well, it's kind of a trade-off. I think I'm kind of chuckling here by myself because I have a black shingle on my roof. And it's funny because when you look at a lot of the roofers, they'll have a black shingle on the roof because they understand that, yeah, is a black roof going to be hotter than a white roof?
Sure.
Yes. How much? And is it really going to be significant? That's the question, okay? The trade-off is that if you go with a light roof, then it gets dirty and it shows more. And typically roofers, know that if they ventilate the roof properly, they're not going to have an issue, and they go with the darker, with the darker shingle. Really, it's I would focus more on what you aesthetically want than anything else.
But you're saying an Energy Star rating would require a different, not the Monaco, but would
Correct.
require
We
a...
have a shingle line that's called Timberline
Okay.
Cool Series. And it's only got 3 colors, and they're all, kind of a lighter, I hate to use this word, but kind of a blander look because, those granules they're cut special and the colors are designed to get more reflectivity.
And then
they come in a contoured look like that, or they flat?
No, flat.
And then it just goes on to talk about ventilation and shade versus gable part of the roofs, which wouldn't change what we have, obviously.
Okay.
So, again, that's the West Chase, guidelines if you go on there. Not to say that we can't select a specific shingle as an option
Yeah.
and have that approved by the modification committee for West Chase.
I can't see, Kathy, how they would tell us that we would have to use the
Exactly.
Timberline Pool Series instead of this high-end
Right. designer
that looks more like tile.
Right.
This is a really high-end shingle that
And
is
I
more aesthetically like what we have, and there's no way that they were gonna tell us we can't use it if we wanted to.
And I can tell you this, how many of you here would agree that there's been a lot of houses re-roofed in West Chase?
Oh, and so.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Right,
If all those houses had a Timberline Pool Series, I would know about it.
yeah.
Because it would show up on the radar. Yes, sir.
Okay, question I have, and maybe we have to consult with the realtor. Is there a worth to versus tile versus shingle for a home?
Is there a what?
Worth?
Property value.
Resale worth.
Resale.
Well, again, I'm gonna kind of answer that in a squirrely way. Because there really isn't.
That's all right, he's kind of
There
squirrely.
isn't did you get that on film? Okay.
It'll go up on
Um,
YouTube tonight.
Again, if you're looking at a three-tile shingle, versus a tile, it would be different. So it depends on what shingle you're comparing it to. If you were to go onto the National Realtors Association.org, you'll find that they believe that designer shingles like that Monaco would add 3 to 5% of value to your house. Now, tile is going to add value because it's more expensive. I don't think that per se having a tile roof is going to add value to your house. But having a designer shingle, depending on what you pick and it's all about curb appeal. That's really the bottom line.
Yeah. All right. He's got it.
I got a question about the warranty.
Well, you got trumped. Yeah, that's all right.
He's burning
All
eye.
right. Warranty.
On the warranty,
Yes.
if you replace this roof with this, you get a warranty, which is whatever, you haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, you didn't get to your warranty. Your
The
gold
resale
plate.
value, if I sell my house to someone, is the warranty for the roof transferred to the person.
Yes.
Wait. Tom, wait.
Uh-huh.
When they built these houses, they actually had to build in a little bit of curvature, like for example, the garage I'm familiar with, because the weight of the tile would bring it down.
Right.
Okay. What happens when you pull off the heavy tile and you put this on? Roof pops up. Just like that. Bam!
That's where the blue tile comes in. I'm telling you, the blue plastic top.
I'll tell you, I'm really not qualified to give you an answer on that, but just from my experience.
That tile is very heavy up there.
Yeah, the tile could be upwards of 600 pounds per square foot. Whereas, some of these shingles will probably be like 300 to 400 pounds per square foot, depending on the shingle.
Square foot?
I mean, per square,
Square.
which is 100 square feet.
Okay.
But again, I think that deflection is not huge. It's not like you look at a tile roof, before it's, a roof before
It was
it's.
about 3 or 4 inches, if I remember right.
Yeah, I would be pressed to, I would say 3 to 4 inches at the very, very maximum. I'm thinking the deflection is, is pretty small.
There are many, many communities that have switched, and I know of many, as Rick mentioned, many that have switched from tile to shingle roof have not had any problem.
Oh, no, it's not gonna create, it's not gonna create any problems for you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, under the warranty, whether it's one shingle or a large section, is the shingle self-warranty with the labor to reapply it?
I'm gonna answer that here in a second. We need to move into warranties, because
Yeah,
all our questions are kind of going in that direction.
And we do have to be out of here by 8 o'clock.
yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Joe, you don't have to worry about warranty, you're too old.
For all three.
Go for it.
okay, there are 3 kinds of warranties that you can get. There's a standard warranty, And when I say standard warranty, the standard warranty, anybody that goes and buys a shingle anywhere automatically has that warranty. Now, the warranties have changed over the years because in the shingle world, it used to be that shingles tended to be defined by lifespan. So you heard 30-year shingle, 40-year shingle, 50-year shingle, but that's no longer the case. So what actually transpired is back in 2007, we started looking at the technology behind a shingle, because shingles had been made the same way forever and ever and ever. And we found that there was some enhancements that could be made that would increase the lifespan and the durability of the product. Just like anything else, you know, your cars aren't made with steel like they were, 30 years ago. So, airplanes are lighter, stronger, all that. So we applied some of those technologies, and what we did is we put a stronger fiberglass mat in it, because that was a key component of that shingle. Number two is, a lot of times in the past, shingles would be classified by weight. And the mindset was, if it's heavier, it's better. Well, we found out that that's not the case, because some of the heavier products were failing, and some of the lighter products were having longer lifespans. And the reason is that when the mantra became weight, it's real easy for a manufacturer to take that asphalt and fill it with fillers, lime rock being one of them. So what we found is by taking a lot of those fillers out and getting a better blend of asphalt, that the shingle would be lighter, but it'd be more pliable and have a longer lifespan. The other thing we did is that, again, in the past, the asphalt that went on top of the mat was the same. It was 50% on top, 50% on the bottom. Well, we're like, okay, so what does 50% on the bottom do for you? Nothing, So we now put more asphalt on the top layer, which is the weathering layer, than on the bottom. And last but not least, we redesigned the sealant, like I told you on the ProStart, to make sure that those shingles lock down and they're going to give you good performance, during any wind event. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if we have 160 mile an hour like the thing that went through the Philippines, I mean, you're not going to have a roof to worry about. So at that point, it really becomes an insurance situation. But 130 miles an hour, Category 3, is a very great point at which that system will hold together. We actually test our shingles to 150 miles an hour, and they all pass the 150 mile an hour test.
Provided the roof stays on the house.
Well, actually, I can show you some pictures where the roof left the house.
And the
shingles
shingles stayed on your roof.
That's kind of what's happening.
Well, it's not the roofer's problem.
And then after we made those enhancements, we saw the improvement, and I saw it myself as a representative in the field. The amount of calls that I had for claims or complaints, I mean, just literally disappeared. I mean, when you look at the volume of shingles we do, I mean, we're the largest shingle manufacturer in the country. I mean, to have 30 complaints in a year is not really that big, but now I probably have like 2. I mean, that's how significant the impact has been with the quality of the product. When we saw that, we went a step further and we started testing our products to some extremes, because when you look at the roofing specs, the primary spec for a shingle is basically like an ingredient spec, 2 eggs, a cup of flour, a cup of water, makes a, dough. But it didn't really have any requirements to meet any performance requirements. So we subjected them to some new testing that nobody else has done yet, which is called AC 438, Acceptance Criteria 438. So now we test these for wind-driven rain, extreme temperature extremes, and what is the third one? It's eluding me.
Water resistance.
Water damage.
Wind-driven rain. So again, we're the only manufacturer that all of our shingles pass that AC 438 test. With all that said, what we did is we actually decided to offer, shingle consumers a better standard warranty. Typically, on a 30-year shingle, the way the warranty played out is that you would have, let me see how I can do this without, sorry. Okay. So what we did, the way the shingle warranty used to be, you had a 30-year shingle that gave you 5 years of non-prorated coverage. Because shingle warranties are like car batteries and car tires. You know, if you buy a 6-year battery and it goes bad in the first year, they give you a new battery. But if it goes bad in the second year, then they give you a prorated period because you've used that battery for a year or two, whatever it is. Shingles is the same way. So you would have a 5-year non-prorated period coverage, and that would cover the shingle material and the labor to replace it. So if that shingle had to be taken off, it would, the manufacturers would compensate you for the cost of that product and the cost to pay a roofer to install it.
How about the underlayment or anything else that might?
No,
Just the shingle?
just the shingle. Just the shingles and the shingle labor. So all the other components of the roof really weren't covered. When we came up with these testing enhancements and product enhancements, what we did is we extended that from 5 years to 10 years. And nowadays, instead of being a 30, 40, 50, it's called a lifetime shingle. And again, we all know that lifetime is a real tricky word, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why it's called a lifetime shingle. The reason it's called a lifetime shingle is because now you have 10 years, 100% non-prorated for the shingles and the replacement labor. And then that value, that shingle value, is going to start heading downward. And at year 40, it bottoms out at 20%.
Doesn't get any lower now.
Never gets lower than that. Now, people will say, well, it's not going to last 40 years. You know, it may not last 40 years, but that's the value depreciation schedule, okay? And being that the value never goes to zero, it doesn't have an end of life, and therefore, you can call it a limited lifetime product. I'm just being,
Attorneys allowed that.
I'm just telling you that,
The legal department approved.
yeah, that's right. Can you stop the camera, please?
Yeah.
That's the truth, okay? That is the truth. Now, is that better than the warranty before? Absolutely, because the warranty prior to that was 5 years, and then it died at 30.
So you have a full 10-year and a limited lifetime.
You have a full 10-year and a limited lifetime.
Okay.
Now, here's what happens.
That's all any of us have.
At this point, you have 100% shingles and 100% shingle labor. Okay? But at this point, you have a prorated shingle and no labor. Okay? Yes?
That first 5 or 10 years, does that also include the underlayment?
No.
Never the underlayment.
Well, not never, but not under that standard warranty.
And one more question.
Yes.
Is that under normal condition, or is that if a storm affects that?
No, that's a
Anything?
full warranty. And that's another thing that you gotta be careful with, because a lot of shingle manufacturers, they have what I would call a leak warranty, which basically says if your roof's not leaking, it ain't under warranty, you know? They only warrant it if you have a roof leak. This is warranties.
So if you got a section missing, but it's not leaking, they would say it's okay.
So this is a full warranty. I mean, if the roof's leaking or not, I mean, if the color of the granules changes, if the granules all fall off, or, you know, any one of those crazy things that do happen in the real world, you would still be covered, regardless of whether it was leaking or not. I mean, we warranty our product.
What's the golden pledge warranty?
Well,
What product defect? Is that what you're talking about?
this is a material defect warranty. Okay? This does not cover the roofing installation.
Right.
And again, this is where you kind of get in trouble, okay? Because this warranty requires your roofer to give you the installation warranty. And again, you know, the guy checks out, he gets hit by a bus or something, he's gone, your warranty's gone. And I'll tell you this, 98% of all roof failures are installation related,
I would think so.
not material related, okay? So this is your basic warranty, all right? Now, the next level of warranty up is a slight modification of this, but it's still just a material defect warranty, okay? It's called System Plus. And the System Plus basically extends that non-prorated period of coverage to 50 years. So any failure that you had in those 50 years, you would be 100% compensated for the shingle labor. It would also cover the tear-off cost, which isn't covered under the standard warranty.
Wow.
And it is transferable, okay? However, the most important warranty, again, is going to be your installation warranty, okay? Our third warranty is the Golden Pledge warranty, which Michael was talking about. The Golden Pledge warranty is going to cover your materials, all the GIF system, for 50 years, non-prorated, okay? But it's going to cover the roofer's installation. GAF is going to cover the roofer's installation for 25 years, okay?
So the
That's-
last 25 years of that warranty, you'd be on the hook for the installation.
The last 25 years you'd be on the hook for installation.
Except,
If, or I should, you know, you got to be careful with the words. You would be on the hook if your problem was installation related.
and again, some of your roofers, your GAF
Right.
certified, I'm not sure, master of
Master lease, yes.
will cover their warranty, their labor warranty, in addition to what GAF covers for the materials warranty, even without this Golden Pledge type coverage. So, because I've had a lot of comments, Des, people are always asking me for referrals for roof leaks. My husband and I always recommend Aries because they're one of these, even though it's cement tile, they cover their
Standard
labor.
company.
Right, they cover their labor. So, it's not always going to be your cheapest option, but it may be your better option. So it's one of the things you need to check out.
Well, here's the thing. And I'm going to take you through this exercise because I want to open up your mind to be able to see the risk that is involved in this process, okay? When I asked if anybody had roofing experience, nobody raised their hand. So, if you hire just the lowest bid contractor, you may have gotten a good one, and you may have not. If you didn't, the average roof repair is probably going to be anywhere from, well, I shouldn't say the average, but the range could be, I would say $500 to $1,500, depending on the problem that you have. So it is a huge risk to make a bad decision, okay? When you hire this contractor, low bidder, or somebody maybe that's not certified by a manufacturer, again, I'm not saying that anybody that's not certified is a bad roofer, but I'm saying that the risk to you to make that determination, not having any roofing experience and not knowing any of the roofers, is very high. It's like Russian roulette, okay? So you contract with that roofer, and one day you're getting ready to go to work, and all his guys are up there, and they're ripping the old roof off, and you go off to work, and you come back in the afternoon, and the roof is complete, and you look at it, and you go, wow, that really looks good. Because a new roof is typically going to look better than the one that was on there before. Let me ask you this question. Would you know if he used all the right products that he needed to use in that roofing system?
No.
You wouldn't. Would you know if he took any shortcuts in the installation?
No.
No. And here's the thing that happens with some frequency. A roofer goes out, or a sales guy goes out, and he measures your roof, right? They order the materials, they realize, hey, you know, they give you the proposal, you sign off, you sign the contract, and they realize that they were five squares short, okay? the question is your roofer a stand-up guy that he's gonna eat the additional cost of 5 squares material and labor? Or is he gonna look to take shortcuts to minimize his losses? Those are the real risks that you're looking at, okay? The advantage you have with the master lead contractor is that we check them all out, okay? Master lead contractor has to be in business for 7 years. He's gotta have workman's comp, general liability, he's gotta be licensed. We inspect every roof that has a Golden Pledge warranty. So you don't have to worry if you use the right products or if you installed it correctly, because our inspector is gonna go up on your roof and he's gonna look at it and he's gonna make that determination, okay? Now, the truth of the matter is that companies like Aries and other master leads, you know, they're in that program for a reason, because we know what they do, we know their work. Those companies aren't likely gonna try to pull a fast one on you, but again, we're your accountability partner here, and we're taking the liability of the warranty for 25 years. There is no roofer out there today that is giving you a 25-year installation warranty, okay? There isn't. It used to be 2, now probably the average is 5. Once in a while, a guy just to get a job, he'll say he'll give you a 10-year warranty, but again, if he's not here, what good is it? Okay? Is it possible that GAF would go out of business? Yes, it is possible, but we've been in business for 128 years. I would say it's extremely more likely that a roofer is gonna go out of business or retire. I mean, I see this a lot. There's a lot of roofing contractors out there that I've known for years. But you know, they're getting up in their 60s and they don't have a child that's gonna take over the business. So, you know, when they decide to retire, all those warranties that he gave are toast.
Cost difference between the Golden Pledge and average cost? 5%, 10%?
I would say maybe